Welcome back to the 2017 FIM CEV Repsol. We're live here from Motorland, Aragon. It's the Moto2 European Championship race number 2 on the way for you here this afternoon. 16 laps, 5.077 kilometers. This circuit, built by Herman Tilke, opened in 2009 and hosted its first MotoGP event in 2010. 7 left-hand turns and 10 right. A beautiful circuit, a beautiful venue, and what a way to go racing. What a day to go racing as well. We're so excited for this one. We had a thrilling Moto2 race earlier on, Daco, and looks like it's going to be more of the same.
Yes, 100%. And now, you know, oh, here, I'll let you go through this.
Yeah, let's look at some highlights from the opening race. Well, it was Ricky Cardus who led the way from pole position. He had a really good start. Heading into the first corner, though, it was Eric Granado who managed to get a really good start. Marcel Brenner, he started the race from pit lane, unfortunately. Granado, meanwhile, leading the way as Joe Roberts challenged for the lead. He went up to try and find his way through against Cardus, but Cardus managed to relent and hold on. Meanwhile, then Odendaal came through the field. He was up into third position, or will be in just a couple of moments as we go into the first corner. Great result for the South African. Brilliant stuff, brilliant racing going on, but that wasn't to be too long for Odendaal as Roberts got him back into the next turn. Meanwhile, the lead changed once more as the two title protagonists of Cardus and Granado fought once more with vigour for the lead of the race. Into turn 1 we went, Granado advantage. Then we saw Hector Garzon coming into the foray as well. Garzon was looking very menacing and very racy indeed. He ran wide, however, as Granado lost a few positions. Then it became a three-way battle for victory as Stephen Odendaal came right into play. Over the timeline we went, it was Odendaal's advantage, then comes Granado, then comes Cardus. Into the left-hander of turn number 1 we went. Cardus found his way cheekily up the inside of Eric Granado for second position. That wasn't to last for long though, as into turn 12. Granado would try and fight back, however Cardus relented. There was a bit of a touch between the two. A long look over the shoulder for the 29-year-old. You can see the pit board being hung out there for Odendaal 2 laps before the end. Cardus found his way though up the inside on the final lap into turn number 12. Past the wall we went. Really bit of overtaking from the Team Stylobike rider on the Calyx, and he found his way past, and that is where he stayed until the end of the race to come home and take the checkered flag. Odendaal finishing in second, Granado finishing in third, so no championships to be decided here today, but nonetheless Cardus did exactly what he needed to do in order to keep himself in with a chance of that crown for the end of the season. He's going to have a bit of an uphill struggle though, because he still sits at a bit of a deficit in the title, but he can technically lead after this race going into the finale in Valencia.
This race can be really crucial for both of them, you know, him and Granado, because it's going to be the one where it's going to be the decisive one for Valencia, and I mean there's going to be pressure with both of these boys, and but then again he just needs to do what he's been doing. And look at the consistency, you know, on Ricky, missing that first race in Albacete because he didn't ride. But then, you know, first or second is his position to be. So I don't think he's got much pressure going onto him. I think more pressure is going to be onto Eric, where he's got to maintain or not get beaten here, and like he did in race 1. Hopefully they found something better for race 2. Mentally, hopefully he's stronger. And, you know, he's fast. He knows he's fast around here. And be interesting to see if also if Stephen Odendaal can also, you know, battle with them. And very impressive by Eric, too, is having no DNFs in any of the races. So really consistent with him. And but, yeah, like I said, you know, speaking to Ricky downstairs earlier today, he seemed more relaxed. And he says, you know, it's not easy being 20 points behind with 3 races to go, but now it's 11, and it's going down. So 2 races to go, it's not even impossible. And here's Joe Roberts starting third, good 4th position in race 1. I think he'll be happy with that. That's good consistency this year with him, and like we said earlier, you know, signing with NTS next year in the World Championship, I think gave him an extra boost of confidence. And with 2 races to go, I think all these boys are going to give it their absolute 110% best. And here's Lukas Tulovic. He's been a little inconsistent, but new rider, and I think he's definitely needs another year in the CEV belt for the Moto2 class before he can go to the World Championship.
And he says the same by his own admission. Yesterday I got chatting to him in pit lane as well. I can't believe he's 17. He handles himself so maturely, but he's one of the nicest guys to chat to, and he was saying, probably another year in the CEV, maybe some wild cards as well.
That's the way to go, doing these wild cards really truly help you as a rider, and when you come back from a World Championship race to the Spanish Championship, it just feels it's not easier, but it feels easier because World Championship is the hardest.
Stephen Odendahl, 24.
That donkey.
What is going on there? Is it to say hurry up and win the race? That's Stephen Odendahl's girlfriend on the right hand side holding the umbrella, Denisa, and she's always a very smiley lady. You can see Odendahl there, finished every single race so far this year. Look at the amount of podiums he's had though over the last few races. When is that first race victory going to come? It could be this afternoon, but surely they'll have to get one before the end of the season, but they're running out of time. There's only one race left after this one.
Yeah, me and Remy yesterday were speaking to NTS, and they're like, we're not far away. It's difficult for them with a new chassis like that to be competitive with the chassis like Kalex that's been in here in the World Championship for the past 4 years and been really competitive, and it's the best chassis at the moment. So they've actually impressed a lot of people, I think, and Remy actually told me this yesterday, and it's really interesting. The NTS chassis is basically a block of aluminium, and they've got it on a computer grafted, and then they got some laser that cuts it all out.
Oh, really?
And that's the chassis.
Single block of aluminium that makes it. That's incredible.
It's incredible, and completely different than the others.
Absolutely, a very revolutionary idea. Here's Federico Fellini. He'll be in the World Championship full-time next year with Simone Corsi as his teammate. That's going to be a very exciting and, I'm sure, flary duo. Looking forward to seeing how they get on. They'll be riding for Tasca Racing on board Kalex machines. Keep an eye out for the name Federico Fellini in the World Championship next year. Just going back to Odendahl as well. As we say, we often see them struggling towards the latter half of the race. We were speaking with Remy in the first race as well, and you never know, they might have made a change during the break between the races, and that could be just the one little key that helps them do that victory.
Yes, and it's a lot warmer than this morning's race, I think, too. So there's great to see Carmelo Morales there as an umbrella boy.
It suits it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I'm going to tell him.
Yeah, David Sanchis there in the middle on the easy race suitor. Good qualifying from Sanchis. He's not done too badly at all this weekend. He's looking like he's in good form, lining up in the middle.
Nice little
of the
Kawasaki do-up. You see there?
I do. I'm just wondering, there's some modifications on Corentin Polari's machine. Looks like he's got some holes drilled in the front of his fairing. Did you see that there?
I didn't. I just missed it. It must be for air cooler. To make the engine cooler. Gives it more speed. You never know. Maybe different ways to try stuff and see if it works.
Exactly. Well, that Transformers machine that he's on is completely different to any of the bikes we've got on the grid, because it doesn't have two front forks. Effectively, it has what I can only describe as a swing arm on the front of the bike. Which
I remember Ricky rode it.
He did, yeah, last year.
And he was telling me that it's incredible how deep you can brake.
But it chatters a lot as well.
But it chatters a lot, yeah.
There's Marcel Brenner. He didn't make the start in race number 1, so good to see him on the grid for race 2. Hopefully they've sorted out his technical gremlins with that Kalex. They're actually selling a motorcycle of that team as well, the team that Marcel Brenner is with, H43 Team Nobby. So if you fancy getting yourself a Moto2 Kalex, then head over to the paddock for Aragón, and you could be riding one. Do you fancy it?
I saw it. Tempted. My wallet needs to be a bit bigger.
My wallet would need to be a lot bigger, and my talent, actually, for that mess. Dimaseki, great first race for the Indonesian rider. As you can see there, 5th position from 11th on the grid. Really great result. He's had a podium this year, and he wants to be fighting for podiums regularly, and who can blame him? We don't see this much Indonesian talent making its way through, or we haven't as of late. We'll see that, I'm sure, with the Asia Talent Cup, of course, aiding things, but we'll see what happens. Here's Karel Hanneke, the Red Bull Rookies champion of years gone by. As you can see, it's just his first weekend this season. 26th in the championship, took 2 points in that first race earlier on this morning. He made a wild card in the World Championship earlier on in Brno with the same team, the Willy Race team. and is looking in good form for some good points-paying positions. It's interesting what happened to Karel Hanneke as well, because he had all this promise coming into the World Championship, and it just sort of dwindled. It never really took off, did it?
No, and I think he crashed a lot, and I think in one season he was like one of the most top riders of crashing, and he wasn't doing really good performing, and you know, everyone has that year where you can have a worse year than the other, and I think it wasn't his good year, which ruined it.
Let's go through the grid then, shall we? Ricky Cardouse, Eric Granado and Joe Roberts on the first row. Row 2 is Lucas Tolovic, then Stephen Odendahl and Hector Garzon. Row 3, Federico Fellini, David Sanchis and Corentin Polari on that Transformers machine. Row number 4, Marcel Brenner, Dina Zecchi, Karel Hanneke. Row 5, Hiroki Ono, Jason Uribe and Xavier Cardeloux. Great to see Xavier back after his broken wrist. Lachlan Epis, and then Pontus Derland and Cedric Tondre on row number 6. And then completing the grid is the Superstock champion of 2017 in the Moto2 European Championship, Philippe Legallo, 59 years of age. Does that make him the oldest champion ever?
It does.
Probably. I'm definitely in CEV. I'm not sure about anywhere else, and I wouldn't like to guess because my knowledge of obscure motorcycle racing is...
I hope when I'm 59 I could be racing like that.
Oh, when I'm 59 I can raise a smile, let alone they go for a bike. So the riders getting ready to take off from the grid. Ricky Cardouse pulls away from pole position. Lucas Tulovic in the middle of the second row immediately darts towards the front of the grid. This is set to be a cracking race, isn't it? There's going to be no championships decided. That's a bit of a shame, but it does make it even more exciting for the finale in Valencia.
Well, 100%, unless, you know, Ricky crashes in... because how many races do they have in Valencia? One?
Just the one race in Valencia.
So yeah, if Ricky crashes and, you know, and Granado stays up and gets over 25 points, then he can be Moto2 champion.
Well, let's remind ourselves the gap between the championship, as we can see, is 11 points between Granado and Cardouse. So Cardouse could theoretically come away with leading the race, although he would need Granado to have another non-podium finish in order to be able to get himself up there. But stranger things have happened. I mean, Granado...
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's the beauty of motor racing. Odendahl there, still mathematically in with a chance of winning the title. He would need something of a miracle, though. Yeah. I think he's accepted that the
title... He would need Cardouse and Granado to crash twice.
Exactly.
And win both races, so...
Well, the great thing about Granado is, with Odendahl, I should say, is his consistency this year has been absolutely unparamount.
Yeah.
It's been perfect. It's just a shame that the first win hasn't come yet, but as we say, I'm sure it's only a matter of time, and we'll keep an eye on proceedings there. Here's his teammate Hiroki Ono on the number 76 machine with Karel Hanneke behind. It's good to see Karel Hanneke back out on a bike as well. As you say, he had a bit of a crash-filled couple of seasons in Moto3 and didn't really work out for him when he came out to CEV last year as well. It just hasn't really worked for him, and it's getting that confidence back, isn't it? Because when you don't win the Rookies Championship by chance.
No, exactly, and he's definitely got talent, and I think a lot of people know he's got talent, and I don't think he's just had the chance to prove it enough. And like I said, he's had a rough time, a rough career in the year he was in Moto3 World Championship with all those crashes. But then again, I think right now he just needs more time on now changing to a Moto2 bike. You know, it's a completely different bike, so he might even be a better Moto2 bike rider than a Moto3 bike rider.
This is it, exactly. Completely different riding styles as the riders take to the grid. There's Philippe Legallo just getting ready to slot into his position of 19th on the grid. So let's get ready then for this race. Just another reminder, you can see the graphic of those championship standings, Granado and Cardouse. It could go anybody's way after this particular race. 11 points separates it. There will be no titles decided here this afternoon in the Moto2 European Championship. However, we could have a brand new leader going into the final round in Valencia. Look to the top left corner of your screen. Wait for the red lights to come on here at Motorland Aragón. They're holding them for a very long time, but it is going to be lights out. And away we go. Great start from the outside of the front row for Cardouse, but Lucas Tulovic once again with an absolute barnstormer, but nowhere to use it. Will he manage to get the drag down to the first corner? No, it's Joe Roberts. Roberts then leads the way from the middle, or from the outside of the front row. He's done exactly what he wanted to do, and led by the first corner from Cardouse. From Granado, Odendahl shuffled down into 5th position off the start there, so not the one that he'll have wanted. He'll have wanted to have made a bit more ground than that. However, a great start from Joe Roberts. He's made a brilliant getaway, and now he is going to have clear track ahead of him for the rest of this lap. Big moment, though, for Corentin Polari in the middle of the field there. He managed to hold on to it there, but that was nearly a big high side.
Very big. Easy corner to high side. You know, you're coming out from a fast apex corners and turn 4 and fast corner speed, and then you get on the throttle and crack it open. Especially the first laps, new tires, all that makes a difference.
Into the left-hander we go for the first time out of 16 of asking. Joe Roberts with Cardouse and Granado breathing down his neck. Bit of a gap already forming between the top 3 and Odendaal. So we'll have to wait and see what happened. No jump starts. We've just had that confirmed on our screen as well. Here comes Cardouse, though, in his favourite overtaking spot. Roberts, though, goes a bit deep on the brakes. It's only the first lap, boys. Don't go too hectic into the right-hander. And Roberts manages to hold on to that lead, but he knows that Cardouse is there, and Cardouse wants to take that lead away.
Joe's doing great. I mean, getting the whole shot and keeping the lead for the whole lap. And but I know Ricky's going to want to get by him as soon as possible and try to create a gap, because I think Ricky knows he's got good pace, and he doesn't want to get caught up like in race 1 with all that group.
No, certainly won't want to, but even down the back straight, Roberts manages to hold on to the lead. And Granado in 3rd position at the moment with Odendaal in 4th place. He's now managed to get himself ahead of Tulovic, so Tulovic down into 5th place. But for how long is that going to last? Because it looks like he's going to have his teammate Fellini on his case before too long. Into the first corner we go once again, and Roberts still holding that advantage. And it doesn't really mean anything at this stage necessarily, with this lead of this race, because of course it could all change, and probably will change before too long.
Yeah, and runs it really wide there, where which made Ricky run wide, and now Eric going underneath him. But
look at that! No love lost between those two, are there?
No.
Into turn number 6,
Ricky's showing who's boss right now,
giving them as good as he can get. Meanwhile, the man on the back of him is Odendaal. Stephen Odendaal doing a great job.
I feel like Odendaal always creeps himself in. Like you never know where he's at, and then all of a sudden he's there. And he's always in the top 3, you know, and that's what's great about him. He could be anywhere, and then finally ends up on the podium.
Oh, a bit wide there for Joe Roberts. That's going to allow Cardouse to come back through, but is Roberts going to get the drive as we go over the brow of the hill? Oh, big shake on the front there for Cardouse. Here comes Odendaal as well. Meanwhile, he's up the inside of Granado for 3rd position. That's going to be a bit of an overtaking opportunity for them. Does he manage to do it? Not quite at the moment. Meanwhile, Roberts still battling for the lead of this race.
I haven't seen a Moto2 race like this for like ever. Even in the World Championship. What's going on?
We were saying with Remy earlier, weren't we, that it's just amazing.
It's great. It's great. This is what Moto2 should be all about.
Exactly, and we were talking earlier on about there being some rumours of Triumph perhaps coming into the CEV next year and perhaps running some experimental bikes.
And I think Julito Simon's already tested some out.
He has indeed, yeah. That would be, well, I don't think he'll be in line for a ride because he's retired, apparently, isn't he? So,
well, not.
I use the air quotes around retired because he's not retired.
No, it just shows you how hard it is to actually find a team now without having to bring money.
Exactly right. Over the timing line we go. It's Cardouse with the lead from Roberts, from Granado, from Odendaal. Here we go into the first corner. Odendaal tries to think about a move, but backs out of it at the last moment. This is such a great group running through, isn't there? There's 5, 6, 7, 8 riders involved in this lead. 9 with Eki as well.
Yeah, and Eric Granado needs to really be careful with, squeezing himself in riders and passing and that, and doesn't want to make a mistake or being taken out in this crucial moment with points like this in the championship.
Joe Roberts has impressed me all season long, and he's doing a fine job on board that AGR Calax. What a season it's turning out to be for him, getting the call up to going to the World Championship, getting the chance to race in the CEV as well, and getting a full-time ride for 2018 as well with
There goes Eric underneath Joe.
Into the
corkscrew. That's a tough pass, but good pass on them, and now you can actually relax and see what Ricky's got and maybe go with Ricky.
Exactly. This is what Granado needs to do. He needs this race win. If he takes the race win, well, he'll still lead the championship, even if Cardouse finishes in 2nd place. Then
here he comes.
Here we go, up the inside, into turn 12. Nicely.
Somebody's
down!
Joe.
Is that Roberts down? It is. Is Odendaal gone with him, though? I think they're both gone. That'll be the first DNF on the copybook for Odendaal. We didn't see it. We just saw sparks flying through the air.
And it was red.
Yeah, that's a big shame. So it's either...
I think it's both.
Yeah, I think both of them have gone down.
Someone's knocked someone out.
Turn number 13.
Oh,
turn
dear.
12, rather. Well, hopefully get an action replay of that, but regardless, both riders out of this race. That's such a shame for Odendahl and for Joe Roberts, and that's a even bigger shame because they're teammates next year.
Oh dear, and that's actually giving Garzon a good window for the podium spot.
Exactly. Let's get ready to come over the timing line once again. So this is now the top two. Here we go. Joe Roberts and Stephen Odendahl walking away.
Someone's hurt. Oh, Joe is.
Yeah, he's down on the ground. Odendahl walking away probably in a bit of disbelief. We didn't see what happened, so we can't judge on the incident too much at the moment, but we'll keep an eye out for
to be honest, Joe was in third. So, truthfully, I think Odendahl must have tried to go underneath him and maybe lost the front and run into him, but that's only my thought.
Yeah, we'll wait for confirmation of that. Meanwhile, Granado in the lead, ahead of Cardoos. Brilliant stuff. 13
runs
laps
it wide.
Yeah, he likes that wide line, though, does Cardoos. These two, a little bit of a history together, of course. Let's not forget Estoril earlier this year. Garzon, though, in the pound seats, inherited a podium through no effort of his own doing, basically. He was gifted a podium.
No,
so,
it's a great feeling.
Yeah, I can well imagine he'll be pretty chuffed with that if it stays as it is. But Corentin Polari as well, the Endurance World Championship rider on that Transformers machine, 4th place. Brilliant stuff.
Great, and it's great for the team also, team confidence, and there's your standings right now.
Exactly the same as they were before the start of this race. Exactly the same. Well, you can't say it's not consistent, if anything else. 11 points going into the final weekend.
It is going to be a long race now between these two, and it's going to just feel like 13 laps going to feel like a lot more.
It will be an eternity for them, I'm sure. So down the back straight we go. It's Granado with the advantage on that promo racing team. He will, of course, be wildcarding in the final round of the World Championship in Valencia. So he'll have had experience there 1 week before the CEV goes there. Bit of a sit-up there in the mid-corner as well.
That corner is really temperamental because if you turn it in too early, it's a really easy corner to turn in early, which was what you just saw there. He turned it in a little bit too early, which was too tight, so you had to pick it up and then run it a bit wide. But it's a good corner because you can get a lot of different lines through it and still be fast.
Well, the championship would sit at just 6 points to the difference, so it would mean a case of, if it sat like that, it would mean that Cardoos would each set the victory, and Granado would have to finish third or worse in the Valencian race.
Which is tough, You need a podium and last race, more tension, more everything. It's a lot more difficult. So Eric really needs to just relax and see what Cardoos has. He knows Cardoos is fast. He needs to see where Cardoos is fast. But look at Garzon.
Yeah, exactly. Fastest lap.
Fastest lap of the race, 55.3. Great lap time. Yep. Still a little bit off, 1.4 off qualifying lap times what they did yesterday. But anyways, and the fastest lap time in the race 1 was a 54.5 by Eric Granado, so they're still 0.8 slower, which is all these passing isn't helping either.
Yeah, Odendahl
never seen so many passes in a race.
Odendahl did rejoin the race after that incident. He has come back into pit lane though. He just came down a few moments ago, so a shame there for the South African. As we said, his first DNF on the books for the 2017 season. Big shame there. Meanwhile, here comes Garzon. Look at this on board the Mistral chassis. Stand up and take a bow. We haven't seen this for a couple of rounds. Here comes Granado and also Polari as well, and Talovic coming into play. They're all having a go. Here comes Talovic. He's got the inside line. He moves up 2 places in the space of 1 corner. Meanwhile, Garzon moves down 2 positions. Talovic runs it wide.
Is this a 6-rider race again?
It's incredible, isn't it? We haven't seen groups this big, as we were saying. Here comes Odendahl. He's in the pit box, and well, he's not too displeased with that. What can you do? I mean, you can't really be angry with your new teammate either, can you?
No, but I want to know what happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I hate not knowing what happened.
We'll have to go down and talk to them afterwards. Keep an eye on it. I'm sure they'll have mixed views on the incidents. Granado, though, hits the front. A 6-way battle for the lead in Moto2. Well, we haven't seen this in a long, long time. It's been a long time coming. And I tell you what, we could end up with a surprise winner, surprise podium finishes. The championship, the form book could all be turned on its head.
And I think there's a lot of riders here that haven't won a race yet. So, it's a great opportunity for all these boys. Kind of like what we saw in Moto3 in the last race. You know, a lot of riders in that top 5 that haven't won a race. Same here, so be good. But Ricky trying to go underneath there is not easy.
No, certainly is not. 11 laps remaining here at Motorland Aragón. Over that brow of the hill we go into turn number 12. Corentin Perellari now in 3rd position on board that Transformers machine. You just wonder if he's going to be able to last the distance on that bike, because it shreds its front tyres where it chatters so much as well.
Yeah, it's listen, he needs to just do the best he can, and it's difficult, you know, in a situation like that. Oh, great pass again from these boys are. These boys are just
this front wheel in the air from Granado.
No. Big head shake from Granado.
Do you see Estoril flashbacks coming over again?
Oh dear.
Perellari is going to lead this by the final corner if he's not too careful. He's going to go up the inside of Granado. He's not going to manage to bite off Cardus in that corner. He's going to run it a bit hot though, surely. Is that going to allow Granado up the inside? Yes, indeed it will. So Granado back through into 2nd place. Well, a valiant effort, but just a day late and $1 short for him.
Yeah, and that it's funny to see, because I see this because I've, you know, seen a lot of races around here. That last corner back then, the line used to be a lot more wider. Now it seems to be a lot more tighter, and I think it's because the tires are becoming so much better and more grippier.
Here's that pass again into turn 15. Look at that, sweet as you like. Bit wide, bit aggressive, but it doesn't really matter. There was no contact, but as you say, head shake from Granado. I don't know if those two will be on each other's Christmas card list at the end of this year.
No, I don't think they'll be. I hope they'll never be teammates either.
Oh, that would be a fiery atmosphere in the garage. They're giving it as good as they get. Look at
this is great racing. This is what we want to see. This, I don't care if there's head shakes or anything. This is what I like to see.
Exactly, as good as it gets in Moto2 between Granado and Cardus. Look at this. One corner, one pass. Granado up the inside. Wham bam. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. And he's back through. Incredible.
Listen, you know, in this position, they're both wanting that win. They both won that championship win, and this is what they both have to do. Oh,
certainly is. Look at this. Super
squares it off,
and then doesn't allow Garzon. Oh, sorry, Granado, I should say, up the inside. Well, he does, because he
leaves the door
open. He's giving it as good as he gets. That's a bit bumpy under braking there into turn 14, isn't it? Oh, dearie me, that's one to keep an eye out for in the latter stages of this race. Onto the back straight we come once again.
With all these passes, it's they're running 1 second slower than in the last race. That's just
look at that, right over to the track limits. That is.
We actually saw that with Pedrosa. Pedrosa complained about that with Rossi.
Yeah, he did. Quite right. Look at Perellari. He's got the leg out. He's got the Rossi dangle going on, speaking of Valentino. And he's up into 2nd place. But as the last lap, runs it wide, down to 3rd once more. Out of the final corner we go, over the timing line. Ricky Cardus leads the way. Look at this. Here comes Garzo. Here comes Perellari. Hope they realise that they're all there. Into the 1st corner we go.
Is it me, or is this the best race that we've seen so far of Moto2?
All season long, it's been the best race. This is brilliant. And shout out to Team Maseki as well. Once again from 11th on the grid into 5th position, with Hiroki Ono taking the sole NTS into 6th position so far in this race.
Corentin's riding incredible too.
Really good stuff. We saw him being very quick, didn't we, in Barcelona, and then he wasn't riding for a long time after that, which was a big shame, because I thought that he was worthy of a seat full-time with the Transformers outfit. Somebody coming down pit road, is that Lukas Tulovic? It is. So Tulovic has had some kind of a problem, whether that's a mechanical or he's had an off somewhere down the line. I can't quite see at the moment from our commentary position, but nonetheless a shame to end his race prematurely. Just needs a bit more luck on his side, does the German rider. Meanwhile, look at this. It's just one motorcycle, isn't it? It's
Can we get some popcorn?
Yeah, I think we should do. I think that's a good shout.
This is great.
Turn 12 we go. Look at that. Lap time separated by just 42 thousandths of a second also. Doesn't get much closer than that.
No, and it's crucial, because, you know, these two cannot make any mistakes, and you're just on your tiptoes the whole time thinking, oh, is this gonna work? Is this not gonna work? And please don't make this mistake, please don't do this. But no, it's good. It's
Must
good
have to have a good amount of faith in the other riders.
Oh,
100%. Down the back straight we go. It's still Cardus with the advantage. Perellari not in contention at the moment. He's having to defend from the man in 4th place of Hector Garzon. Garzo surely a bit of a shoe-in for a World Championship ride next year. Whether that turns out to be, though, he's had a couple of average rounds as of late. And it'll be interesting to see whether he ends up doing another year here. Of course, it's his first ever year on a 600, so perhaps another year learning in the CEV, and then the year afterwards going to...
No, it goes underneath him again, turn 2.
Brilliant.
And watch Ricky, he's going to want to go underneath here in turn 4.
Had a bit of a look there, didn't he, into turn 4, but no positions or no opportunities being presented for him through there. This is brilliant racing as they go hard on the brakes into the left and sweep it into the right-hander. It's just poetry in motion, all of this. Here comes Cardouse. He's hard on the brakes. He's up the inside and he's into the lead of the race. Brilliant stuff. All the while these two are battling, and the duo behind of Perolari and Garzon are battling. It does allow them to just close up ever so slightly, doesn't it? Or just to break away a little bit. But of course, it's give and take, isn't it?
Exactly. And it's great to see all these different passes I haven't seen in Moto2 for a while. And with 8 laps to go, oh, here comes. No, just a look from quarantine into the backstretch. Oh, Ricky looks back to see what's going on.
Oh, Perolari trying around the outside at turn 13. That's only a one-way road through there. Meanwhile, that's going to allow Garzon a sneaky move up the inside, and he gets it done.
Garzon is that position right there is for that last spot on that podium. So they'll be pushing hard for that too.
Unbelievable racing here in the Moto2 European Championship. Of course, it's all crucial for the championship at the moment. If it stays as it is, the championship will be separated by 6 points. If the positions reverse round and Granado takes the win and Cardouse finishes in second, it will stay at 11 points.
Eki on his way too.
Yep, he's in fifth place run, and that could soon be 4th, maybe even 3rd. Could see the Indonesian rider on the podium for a 2nd time this season. Turn 1 we go once more, and Perolari is impressing me no end. This race is turning out to be absolutely brilliant for the Frenchman. You never know, we could see him full-time here in 2018.
Their lap time's really slow compared to race 1, and not sure if it's just the way they're riding. They're riding more tight, for passing and that, or tire wear or what, but they're running about 1.5 seconds slower than the race 1, which is a lot.
Yeah, it certainly is. Of course, it's a lot hotter here this afternoon as it was compared to what it was earlier on, so that's going to slow them down a bit. Into the corkscrew we go once more.
And they did a 53.9 in qualifying.
Impressive stuff, very impressive indeed. So they really are lapping quite consistently slower than they were earlier on this morning. Hector Garzon, very, very impressive stuff. Some great stuff going on further down as well. Haneke inside the top 10. So that'll be a really good result there for the Czech rider if he can get himself a top 10 finish. Remains to be seen whether that works out. Here comes Granado. He's up the inside of Cardouse into turn 13.
And here comes Cardouse again.
Exactly.
Underneath Granado.
We just need to record those 2 phrases because it's... look at this.
Granado shut the door on this little tight chicane, because he knew Cardouse would want to go underneath them. Cardouse looks behind to see what's going on, but Cardouce's bike is fast.
Really has got some good straight line speed on board that Calyx. Perolari once again lurking there in 3rd place on board that Transformers machine. Doesn't look like he's just got the pace to mount a charge at the moment. Meanwhile, Eki, look at how much he's closed up onto this group. 5th position for Eki at the moment. And also Ono as well. Ono's right he's actually ahead of Eki now. So Ono's into 5th place. That'll be his best result by a long way. Granado and Perolari on the inside, sitting up Cardouse. Cardouse 1st to 3rd in the space of 1 corner. Well, that is very exciting
and indeed. That's where quarantine's going to be strong in those, in those breaks. Any brake markers and that, that's where he's going to be gaining everyone, and he's in the braking zone.
Exactly. I'm just trying to think about the riders that have won races. We've got Granado, we've got Cardouse. Perolari, of course, hasn't won one. Garzon hasn't won. Ono certainly hasn't won. Eki hasn't won. Fellini hasn't won. In fact, we've only got 2 race winners in the field at the moment.
Cardouse went underneath.
Hiroki Ono with the fastest lap last time around on board that NCS machine. I'm not sure what Ono's had for lunch, but it's certainly paid dividends for the Japanese rider. And you never know, we could end up with the first ever Japanese podium in the FIM CEV Repsol, or the first Japanese podium at least for 2017.
It'd be great to see too.
Certainly would do. Kuroki Ono is a very nice guy. It's a shame he's not going to be racing with the team, at least in the World Championship next year. We don't know if the team are going to be competing in the FIM CEV Repsol as well, or whether they'll just focus solely on the World Championship. Likewise, of course, it's up for debate as to what AGR are going to be doing next year. Of course, this year they've been fielding Roberts and Uribe in the the European Championship, and of course they've been competing in the World Championship. However, they have pulled out of all of the remaining rounds of the World Championship in Moto3 and Moto2 to focus on their CEV efforts. Not 100% sure what's going on behind the scenes, but wait to see what's happened. I was talking to Jason Uribe earlier, and he said if I get the chance to race with AGR for 2018, I'll snap it up like a shot. So
yeah,
wouldn't turn it down. So there seems to be a bit of uncertainty over their plans in the 2018 championship, and that of course is a bit of a worry because I haven't heard of any plans for any new teams to be joining for next year. So if NTS and AGR, that's 4 bikes we're going to be down on the grid, and at the moment we're getting 18, 19 riders around. So
the problem is, and as you've seen and read, AGR teams pulled out in MotoGP, in the World Championship, from Moto2, Moto3, and teams are struggling a lot for finding sponsors and money, and it's difficult even for us riders to find teams that that you don't have to bring money to. It's impossible nowadays, and then sponsors, there's no sponsor that's going to want to pay that much money for a year season, especially now. Everything's so much more difficult. Bikes are getting much more expensive. Less people are buying bikes and more people are buying cars, and this is what we don't want in our world, and it's unfortunate. And I also read something like, I don't know in how many years everything's going to be electric, no more engine, and it's sad to see and hear, and but anyways, we got to live the moment and see what goes on.
Sense of irony there, and sad to see and hear, because there won't be much to hear when we do end up
no, exactly.
Of course,
there's already championships that are running, electric bike racing.
Rider 83 with a time-second penalty. That's Lachlan Epis.
Ooh, I thought it was 88.
That would have been a bit of a tasty situation, wouldn't it? So, yes, Lachlan Epis, unfortunately, with a 5-second time penalty for repeatedly exceeding track limits. We've seen that so much over the course of today, and it kind of comes as no big surprise, really. But nonetheless, Lachlan Epis is currently leading the way in the Stock 600 battle.
Here we go. Fast lap time by Eric with a 54.4. Now we're talking lap times. This was it's actually a 10th quicker than what they ran in the first lap. So now they're becoming fast, and it's only half a second from qualifying lap time. So they're running a lot faster now, and you can see the gap they're creating already. Him and Ricky to third position with Garzon.
This battle's kind of quieted down over the last couple of laps. There's not been as many.
Well, I think they've kind of seen, okay, let's check out, and then we'll battle in between you and me.
Exactly right. Well, there you go. You can see the gap between them was just a few hundredths of a second. Granado and Cardus, incredibly close racing between the top two in the title. 16 points is how it would sit in the championship standings if the race finished as it is. If it changed around, it would go down to 11 points. So it's going to be anybody's guess in terms of the championship. Very, very exciting racing. Nonetheless, in the Moto2 European Championship, over the brow of the hill we go. We go hard on the brakes. Garzon now into third place with Perilari in fourth. I wonder whether Perilari's tyres are just running off ever so slightly. Dean Masecki doing a great job there. He's in fifth position on board that Astra Racing Honda. Very impressive stuff from the number 20. Into turn 14 and then turn 15 as well. And how important is it, Dakota, just to break that gap from when you're battling in sort of a front group? You just think, okay, we'll break that gap and then we'll battle amongst ourselves.
Well, if they didn't, they could have done this a long time ago if they weren't passing each other in every other corner. They just have that much better pace, I think, compared to the others. So, Ricky gets a bit sideways there in the last corner. So yeah, it's not that they're saying, okay, let's check out now. They wanted to probably check out since lap 1. So But now that they're not passing each other and screwing each other up, they can actually do their lap times. Garzon goes really wide into turn 1, which makes everything a little bit more bunched up. But yeah, and then now it's where, you know, Ricky's got to really focus. This is where Ricky's really strong, though, is analyzing and seeing what other riders do and when is a good, you know, good place to pass. But Eric's really doing some good lap times now with the 54.3, best lap time of the race right now, with only, you know, 3 laps to go.
Exactly, fastest lap, as you said, Granado. He's looking mighty, mighty strong. Corentin Perolari, well, what can you say about him? He's just been absolutely brilliant on board that Transformers machine, the World Endurance rider. Certainly putting in the miles here this afternoon, doing exactly what he needed to do and get a strong result for that Transformers team. Into turn number 12 with Granado and Cardouz, as you were at the moment. 2.2 seconds is that advantage now, so they've really managed to put the hammer down over the last couple of laps or so. We go on the brakes once more with Granado. And this is where Cardouz is really strong. He's really good in this sector. On to the back straight we go, 1 kilometre long, and over towards the right-hand side as we look at it. Trent, the left-hand side for them. And trying to duck in and out of the slipstream. Hard on the race we go. Is Cardouz going to think about it? Not quite close enough on this occasion at the moment.
I don't think he's going to play his cards yet. I think yeah, you see, he knows he's behind him, so he just needs to focus. And oh, here's the first move.
Here we go.
Oh dear!
Look at that, backing it right in there. I thought he was going to go clouting into the side of it.
That would have been no bueno.
No, that was going to be, yeah, it would have been no bueno at all. It would have been very no bueno, or whatever the appropriate Spanish is for it.
Wow, look at that. Another fastest lap time from Ricky this time with the 54.2 with 2 laps to go.
10th of a second.
That's only 3/10 from their qualifying lap time, which is fast. Really fast.
Especially in hotter conditions.
Yes. And tire wear and everything.
Exactly that. Very, very impressive stuff. Into the right-hander we go. And now just 1.5 laps remaining. Look at the lap times, though. Granado was only a few hundredths behind, wasn't he? This is the thing, though, is whatever Cardouz says, well, whatever you can do, I can do too.
Yep, and they both really want it. And they both really want this win. And this win's going to be the important one, I think. It's going to be the difference between, you know, 6 points or...
Yeah, 6 points is... Well, it was
or 16.
It was sit at 11 and 16, I believe. I'm going to try and do some... No, 16 points is what it was sit at the moment, but I'm trying to do mental calculations.
16 or 6, I think is going to be the difference. So, which is, you know, a big amount for one, you know, for one race to go. It's going to be a big difference.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly
and,
that.
Here we go, onto the back straight. This is where Ricky's got to think if he's going to have enough drive to pass Granado into the last corner, which he does.
Yeah, you're absolutely bob on with the championship standings. If Granado wins, it'll be 16 points. If Cardouz wins, it'll be down to 6 on the final race of the season.
Which is a big difference.
In Valencia. It's going to be one heck of an event. That do not miss it, because it could go down to the wire.
Here we go. This is important.
Here we go then, on to the last lap of the European Moto2 Championship here at Motorland Aragón. Currently, it's Cardouz with the advantage. Granado in second place. The top 2 have checked out. Looks like Hector Garzon is going to get himself onto the rostrum for the Team Wimmu CMS outfit. Over to the right-hand side of the track we go with Hector Garzon, Eric Granado, rather, I should say, trying to find his way past the race leader at the moment, but no opportunity presenting. He's riding very defensively, is Ricky Cardouz at the moment. And this is the live championship standings, as you can see. 6 points will separate them if it stays as it is going into Valencia in 2 weeks, in just over a month's time. This is going to be one heck of a final lap. Through the corkscrew we go. Brilliant stuff from Ricky Cardouz. He's really holding his line, but this is where we're going to see surely Granado make a move. He's got great drive through the left-hander, over the brow of the hill we go. He's surely going to think about chanting a move up the inside. Let's not have another Estoril repeat. Hard on the brakes we go with Granado. It's now or never for the Brazilian. He's up the inside. He's into the lead of the race on the final lap at turn number 12. He manages to get himself up into the top position in this race. Hard on the brakes we go. Turn 14, we're looking at the team started by Calvin.
Show the TV.
Let's watch back at the race though. On to the back straight for the final time. 1 kilometre.
Good drive out. Good drive out by Eric. It'll be interesting to see if Cardeus can get the drive out. I don't think he's going to have time.
He's going to have to think about it, surely, before the final corner. Here we go, into the penultimate turn. The European Moto2 Championship. Cardeus is late on the brakes as you like, but up the inside once again goes Hector Garzon. He's into the lead.
No.
Oh, here we go, though. Here we go, Cardeus. Surely he's going to think about a bit of a move. Up the inside of... Oh, my goodness me, to the line. It is Eric Granado who takes the win and a 16-point advantage into the final round of the championship in Valencia.
Take a breath.
Oh, dearie me. It's been an action-packed few races, I'll tell you that.
Great racing there, and great passes. Clean passes, too, which is good. So, and that's just what Eric needed, is that win right there. Just, you know, to be a little bit more confident for that last round.
Exactly right. Apologies to Eric Granado for calling him Hector Garzon on that final lap.
I was like, what? Garzo's there already?
You get so...
Garzo did get third, though.
It's very true. Great podium for Hector Garzon. You get so into to racing when you end up commentating that when it all kicks off, you suddenly lose a bit of concentration. Sometimes words come out of your mouth that you just can't control. And Eric Granado, a brilliant race victory, taking the checkered flag, 53 thousandths of a second ahead of Ricky Cardeus. A 16-point advantage is what the Brazilian will carry into the final race of the season in Valencia. 25 points up for grabs there. Advantage, Eric Granado. The Brazilian flag is what he will get as well. Jolly good stuff from the Honda rider. Fantastic race. Absolutely fantastic. We haven't seen a Moto2 race like that in a very, very long time. Shout out also to Hector Garzon as well for that podium. Third position for the Team Wimmu CMS rider. Again, exactly what he wanted. A nice podium to go into the break with. It's a slight stoppage after this, and then we'll be back with the final round of the championship a week after the MotoGP race at Valencia. So there is Hector Garzon. I've done it again. I've done it again. Not Hector Garzon. There is Eric Granado. Honestly. The Brazilian flag waves for the Brazilian rider around the circuit. Absolutely wonderful scenes here. Just 21 years of age is Eric Granado. 29 years old is Ricky Cardeus. Hector Garzon, meanwhile, in case you were wondering, because I keep saying his name repeatedly, he's just 18 years old. Stunning stuff here at Motorland Aragón. Don't go anywhere though, we've got one more race coming up for you later on this afternoon. Just a few moments time we'll be bringing you the final race of the day, European Talent Cup race number 2. That is going to be one very, very exciting affair. So final championship, final classification of that race. Eric Granado takes the win from Ricky Cardeus. 53 hundredths of a second separating them. Hector Garzon 6 seconds behind in third place. Corentin Perilari, a great effort on that Transformers machine, just misses out on the podium by a tenth of a second. Dimaseki, brilliant top 5 for the Indonesian rider, with Hiroki Ono, a great result for him, his best result of the season, in 6th position. Just inside the top 10, Karel Hanneke, Xavier Cardelus, Jason Uribe in 12th, Pontus Durland in 13th, Lachlan Epis 14th. Philippe Legallo takes the final points for the stock 600 battle. Lucas Tulovic unfortunately retiring from that race with a mechanical problem. Cedric Tongle in the pit lane also as well. Stephen Odendahl likewise out of that race, as well as Joe Roberts. Those two unfortunately coming together, and also future teammates as well. So hopefully there'll be no love lost between them. So Eric Granado on his cooling down lap now, heading back to pit lane. That win will mean so much to him, as it's so crucial for the championship at this stage. It's exactly what he needed to do. He's ridden perfectly all day. It was advantage Cardeus, advantage Granado. The first race went to Cardeus, the second race of course going the way of Eric Granado. So they're biting back and fighting as much as they can. And a 16-point advantage going into the final round is going to be music to the ears of the Brazilian. And of course there's only one race in Valencia as well, as opposed to the 2 that we've had here today. So that's going to close things up even more so. So keep an eye out for what will be set to be a very, very exciting afternoon of, or a day's worth of racing circuit, Ricardo Tormo. So still completing his cool-down lap, and just coming down pit road now is the Brazilian rider. Look at that, what a way to do it. Fantastic stuff. Not quite the championship yet for Eric Granado, but nonetheless, a brilliant way to get himself into a chance of taking the title. There's one hand on there at the moment, but there's also another hand in the form of Ricky Cardouse as well. So, very, very exciting finale to the season. He's thrilled, and a great result for the nation of Brazil as well. If you're watching us in Brazil at the moment, welcome to you all. It's great to have your company, and I'm sure the exact result that you'll have needed. So congratulations all round from the Promo Racing team. Chandler Cooper, you can just see there on the right-hand side. I think he's a bit happy about that result, don't you? And quite rightly so as well. Stunning stuff. Up next, of course, it is the final race of the day in the form of European Talent Cup race number 2. We look forward to bringing you that in just a few moments' time. We'll be speaking to the race winner, Eric Granado, after in a few moments as well. So we look forward to that. We'll be talking to him and finding out his thoughts on the race. I should imagine it'll be a glowing reception. Beautiful day it's been here at Aragon today as well. Weather conditions have been absolutely perfect. Could not have been better for a day's worth of racing. Not a cloud in the sky all afternoon. It's been stunning. So preparations just taking place, of course, in the Parc Ferme area. We'll be talking to the race winner, as we said, in a few moments' time. And, of course, we'll have the podium celebrations for the European Moto2 Championship. The title is, of course, going to go down to the final round, which will make it 2 championships that will also do the same, because European Talent Cup, which is up on the way next, that will go down to the last round of the season in Valencia, with 2 races, sorry,
Eric,
1 race, I should say.
16-point lead now. You must be happy with that. Good battle with Ricky during the whole race. And that last corner, you had it planned, or did you just do that because you said you thought it was the best move?
Yeah, it was a crazy race. From the beginning, Ricky was trying to do the same thing he did in the first race, to slow the pace, and I was always trying to pass him to open a little gap and do my rhythm. And it was difficult in the beginning because he passed me like every corner and I had to pass back. But finally, I could do 1 lap alone, and it was the first lap I did alone. I did 54, so then I could do a good rhythm, and I knew that he would be with me in the end of the race. So I was just trying to overtake again when he passed me, and it was good to go on the back straight in the front because my bike was a bit slower in the straight. So I knew he would try to pass, and I had planned that if he tried, I need to try again. And finally I could do that, and I was like praying in the straight to him don't come back again, and was finally first. So very, very happy. I had good points in leading going to Valencia. So thank you to the team and everybody. Very, very nice. Happy.
Thank you. Now in your language, please.
Bom, foi uma corrida muito disputada. O Ricky estava tentando desde o começo diminuir o pace da corrida, tentando me ultrapassar e deixar a corrida mais lenta para o grupo ficar maior. Mas na segunda prova eu mudei a estratégia, tentava ultrapassar ele cada vez que ele me passava, e aí foi o que me ajudou a conseguir pelo menos fazer uma volta limpa, que foi a primeira que eu fiz 54. E a partir daí conseguimos abrir um pouco do grupo. Eu sabia que ele estaria junto no final e ia tentar. Então meu único plano era tentar ultrapassar de novo quando ele me passasse. E deu certo, estou muito feliz. Na reta final estava rezando ali para ele não passar de volta e conseguir esse primeiro lugar. Bons pontos do campeonato, então estou muito feliz. Valeu.
So some highlights from the race then. Well, Ricky Cardouz led the way off of pole position. Great start from the second row also from Lucas Tulovic. He had a brilliant getaway into the first corner, but it was Joe Roberts from the outside of the front row managed to get the advantage. He held on to that lead for a few laps until this man, Ricky Cardouz, found his way up the inside. They both battled very, very closely indeed for the lead of the race in the opening stages. Eric Granado was also fancying a bit of the action, got himself up the inside of Cardouz into the left-hander. That sort of set the tone really for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, Onadal was also making some good inroads in the opening stages of the race, getting up to 4th place and then trying to battle for the lead. Meanwhile, the lead, speaking of that, changed. And also, the two future teammates of Joe Roberts and Stephen Onadal came together at turn number 12. A nasty crash. Hopefully both of them were okay. Meanwhile, out in front, the lead of Granado's was being challenged by Ricky Cardouz. And those two were passing each other left, right and centre. Every conceivable opportunity, they were passing each other at the next corner. Really exciting stuff. On towards the start-finish straight we went. It was still close between them, and it came down to the final lap of racing in the European Moto2 Championship. As we know, hard on the brakes though, into turn number 12 as Granado found his way back past the then once again it was advantage to Cardouz. So this is into the final corner on the last lap. Cardouz tried to find his way back up the inside. Granado though held firm, held his line and came over the timing line to take race victory. Brilliant stuff from the Portuguese rider. His 5th victory of the 2017 season. His 8th podium actually, I apologise, of the season as well. Brilliant stuff. Now the riders coming back to Parc Fermé. Parc Fermé rather, I should say, coming into the podium. Lachlan Epis, once again, the Superstock 600 winner. You can see on the far right-hand side of your screen. And the team being presented with a trophy. Promo Racing back on the top step of the podium once again. Lachlan Epis, the winner of the Superstock 600 class.
Don Santiago Abad, director de Motorland Aragón, entregará el trofeo al tercer clasificado, Hector Garzon.
3rd place, Hector Garzon, race winner.
El director de Motorland Aragón, Don Santiago Abad,
podium finisher, I should say. Getting slightly ahead of myself. I seem to have this thing for Hector. I don't know quite what it is because I've said his name about 15 times over the last 10 minutes. Podium finisher Hector Garzon, 2nd place for Ricky Cardouz, 16 points. Now he has to make up in Valencia. For this man, he'll be riding on the crest of a wave on cloud number 9 for the next month or so before we go to Valencia. Eric Granado, the race winner. And now we wait for the national anthem to ring out in just a few moments before he is presented with a Repsol petrol card as well.
Y ahora escuchamos en honor del vencedor el himno de Brasil. Un aplauso. El himno de orden y progreso.
Brazilian national anthem rings out over Motorland Aragón. As you can hear behind us, the motorcycles getting ready to thunder out onto the circuit. So, a Brazilian, Spanish and French podium with Lachlan Epis on there as well. Sorry, Australian podium, I should say, not French rather, with Lachlan Epis on there. We get ready to spray the champagne after that one. Granado gives his team a good soaking. And you can't say you blame him either after that one as well. What a race from the Brazilian. Timed everything to perfection.
100%. And now I think if my calculations are right, if Ricky wins the race in Valencia, he needs to finish 7th. 7th or better to win the championship. So it's going to be a little easier than today.
Here are the championship standings, though, as we get ready before the final round. 201 points for Eric Granado, 16 points Carduce trails him by. Stephen Odendahl, 64 points back. He's now mathematically out of the championship equation after DNF, unfortunately, here as well. Third place, and then you can see further down the order, David Sanchis moves up into 10th place, Xavier Cardelus, Jason Uribe, 11th and 12th, Corentin Perolari, 13th position, just 1 point adrift of Uribe, Marcel Brenner in 14th, Hafiz Siren, of course, who competed in that opening round in Albacete, he's still in 15th place, Oscar Gutierrez is in 16th, Mark Luna is in 17th place, Pontus Derland in 18th position. Brilliant way to do it. So, that was Moto2. Up next, it's European Town Cup.